Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? So, let's see. Weft light, warp light, looms of evening, moth flight, heart's sight, sleeps conceiving. Shuttle hastens souls retrieving. The universe teems with a myriad of ideas and thoughts that have been lost in this day's business. Teacher of my soul, please give me grace to gather my scattered thoughts and understand my motivations and desires. May I be mindful of the creative possibilities that every day offers. O created beauty, I turn once more to your embrace. In homage to you, beloved of my heart, now in silence I open my arms and listen to your words of loving wisdom. In your sweet embrace, I am lovingly restored. Beautiful, beloved beauty, who binds the universe in one free bond of love, give me the light to lovingly comprehend the mystery of this night. In the veils between worlds, I remember the fairy folk who guard the ancient places. May we walk lightly and with courtesy upon the earth. May no being stay their progress or block their path, that the hidden household of the earth may be peaceful. When life's weaving becomes tangled, may the untangler of threads help all threads run smoothly in the tapestry of life. I give thanks to the powers of the senses that have protected my path this day. Summer sun can shine so strong that we are driven into the shade. May those who have too much zeal, who want to convert everyone to their own way, learn the temper of their fierce beliefs, so that the seekers are not driven from their path. Beautiful. Okay, today's card is 13, Grace in Full Flight. So there's the card. Within you is a sacred rebel who dares to dream of a more beautiful world. You believe in inspiration, you trust in hope. How I adore that dreaming, daring, and hopeful heart of yours. With my help, your heart can grow wings and soar. Your time has come. Isn't that beautiful? There is a time when it is time, your time. It is the right time for an idea to come to fruition, for something miraculous and yet tangible in the concrete to happen. Something is finally coming to life in you or in your world. You have learned that it is only through conscious action, combined with true surrender, that grace can truly take flight. And when this happens, it is breathtaking. There is no limit to what grace renders possible. This is the realm of the miraculous, the rebirth of that you may have thought truly lost, the pathway open where it once was blocked, barred, denied, or even impossible, invisible to you. This is the right thing, the right person, the right time, the falling into place effortlessly. It is the cosmic green light saying, yes, move ahead, now is the time. Even if it seems as though you're losing the very thing you want to hold on to by letting go, do it anyway. If you try to maneuver events, it'll just get in the way. Let go with patience, trust, and serenity. You'll see the unthinkable happening in the most beautiful of ways, in perfect timing. This is the masterstroke of the divine artist. It will be worth any effort applied to become effortless so that the grace can happen. It wants to happen now. Be determined and allow it. This oracle brings you a message. Your time for manifestation, for the fullness of success, is either upon you now or close at hand. It will come, and soon. Trust in what you feel beneath the surface of things, rather than what appears to be. So this is trust in what you feel beneath the surface of things, rather than what appears to be. Everything is working out beautifully and according to a higher plan. It is really safe to let go and trust in that process. If you have a question about timing, this card indicates that it is happening according to divine timing that will be soon. If you've been asking for healing, praying, or another person or situation in your life, this is confirmation that your prayer will be answered in an extraordinary way. Okay. So, timing. Timing is a tricky beast, as they say, I guess. Letting go and allowing time to happen is probably the most frustrating thing I have ever experienced in my life. Timing is, well, it is. I have both an acceptance of what time is and a frustration of what time is here. Because there's a part of me knows that time is a construct, it doesn't mean anything. We create buckets of time to coordinate everybody in the same direction, to get things done, etc. But then time is also something that paralyzes, it hinders, it gets in the way, it creates conflict where there shouldn't be. So this card is grace in full flight. In the first paragraph, time is mentioned 4 times. But the second paragraph, I like more. I like how she says, you have learned that it is only through conscious action combined with true surrender that grace can truly take flight. When this happens, it is breathtaking. There is no limit to what grace renders possible. This is the realm of the miraculous, the rebirth of that you may have thought truly lost. The path is opening where it seemed before blocked, barred, denied, and invisible. One of the things I had to really kind of work on for a while in my life was coming to a place of peace. Remember where I talk about place of peace is where you breathe in, you just breathe into your body, you find your center, preferably if you know your natural number, you go to your natural number for your center. And then I always breathe in all the way to the bottom of my diaphragm, but in that diaphragmatic breathing, I make sure that I center right here, because centering right here, this is where I find my place of peace. Right here. Right here. Right here is my place of peace. In this place of peace, and I tap it a lot. I'll tap it with my hand or I'll tap it with my fingers. Right here for me, in place of peace, is this centeredness of connection to all the possibilities, but also my connection to me. I can really know that here is where I connect in to myself, and where back to this card of action and surrender equaling grace. So the action is the breath. The surrender is allowing that breath to sit in my body, to feel that flow of, I can hear the birds outside, I can hear the central fan in the house blowing the air around, I can hear Astra looking at the water of her dish, I can feel the anticipation of the day without the anxiety yet. And in that moment, I can sit with my thoughts and I can give all of that into grace. I can really accept that whatever may come, that grace of acceptance in time, wherever we are in time, is going to be okay. And that grace has no judgment, it has no worry, it has no anticipation. It's just peace in time. Now, this card seems to deem that this is a card for you're at the precipice of exactly the right time, right? Like things that you thought weren't going to happen are going to happen, and moving forward is needed. And forward action with grace, with place of peace, is something that I've talked about before, right? So looking at what small steps you can break down a big thing so that you have the right action at the right time and not be overwhelmed. And that just takes practice. That takes self-love. One of the things that a lot of people struggle with is that self-love, loving themselves, knowing that they are a divine being, a spiritual being in a human existence, and finding that self-love because the world tells you you're too fat, too tall, too skinny, too much of whatever you are. You're never too much. You're never too much. You are always exactly what you need to be. And when you feel that you could work on something, you work on it. And sometimes it's really hard to do so. Sometimes it's really hard to recognize if you're doing something or you're behaving in a way or whatever that others see that there might be an obstacle, and it's really hard to accept the help. But whatever it is, right, it's always the right time. I was reading this earlier and I was thinking, right now is always the right time. It doesn't matter what it is, right now is always the right time. Because it's a choice and it's an opportunity and it's a lesson of awareness. You know, I've talked a lot about, you know, the group that I met with right after COVID, because I recognized the patterning of this big thing starting. I should have said and stepped away, and I didn't. I said and I stayed entangled, unfortunately. So it was the right time. It was 100% the right time for those people to come together and make choices. Only I stayed in the middle of it, and I shouldn't have. I should have walked away. And that's okay. It's a choice. It doesn't mean that the big thing that I could see was wrong. The big thing that I can see is still going to happen. It's happening. My connections to people recently have proven over and over and over again, it's still going to happen. I have to do my thing. Those people that I brought together after COVID need to do their thing. The thing's going to happen. They just might not be the innovators at the front line that I thought they could be because of choice. You know, something I learned a long time ago is that there are things that have to be brought into the world. There are ideas, there are events that have to be brought into the world, and sometimes those events are, I guess in quantum theory, it would be multiple opportunity lines, I think that's quantum theory. I might have the name wrong, but where you have many people who are given the same inspiration line, basically. So this person is given the inspiration line, and this person is given the inspiration line, and this person is given the inspiration line. And each one of those 3 inspiration lines can go forward. But the opportunities that are given to those 3 inspiration lines have to be woven together in a certain way. And certain choices, acceptance, denial, whatever it may be, not owning their own shit, you know, all those choices affect those inspiration lines. So the one that's optimum, the one that takes advantage of it, the one that accepts their time for what it is sometimes the line in which it goes. So there's some things that when I look at blueprints, I can see outcomes. I can see, okay, this person's going to get to this outcome. The branches that get them there, all over the place. All over the place. So it's not like the thing won't happen. It's that there's choices involved. There's always choices involved. Blueprints have choice written into them. And you can make choices that have you going in a totally different direction for 10, 15, 20 years. It doesn't mean you aren't going to get to where you're going. It's just that you've made choices that made getting to that end point further out in time. I look back at 2020, and I look back at that spring and summer and fall, and I look at the connections of the people that were brought together. And I know that there's a couple of those connections that they've made choices. Whatever their choices are, they're still going to get there. Just they've gone the other way around, and that's okay. And I look at my own choices, and I look at, I got entangled. And when I got entangled, my choices led to a series of choices, another lesson to say, are you sure you really want to sideline this way? And that's exactly what happened. I got sidelined for about 2 years. And then finally it was, okay, got it. A year and a half, whatever. That year and a half was a valuable reaffirmation of exactly the choices that I need to make to go in a certain direction. When I finally combined true surrender with action, conscious action, and true surrender, I found the grace to take flight. And everything's been not easy. It's not been easy, but it's been okay. We've been okay. And that's a very valuable lesson for anybody to learn. Sometimes to really fly, the action you're looking for is conscious action. And the true surrender that the path that you're following is the path you need to be following. Grace can truly take flight. And when grace takes flight, there is no limit to what grace renders possible. In the realm of miraculous, the rebirth of what you have truly lost, pathway opening where there once was blocked can become visible. I have had my own lessons. I am not perfect. I'm still working through things, guys. It's called a journey for a reason. I've made mistakes. I've made choices, decisions. But I know I'm right where I need to be. It's going to be a beautiful day. Blessed be, and I will see you in prayer.